I think what's really impressive about this wildlife park is how close it is to the city. I mean, you know, you've got Shenzhen and Hong Kong across the bay, and how they've managed to maintain it in such a pristine state so close to the city is really impressive.
I come from Africa. I come from Uganda. We are landlocked. We don't have this kind of vegetation. If I have to see this kind of vegetation, I have to go to the coast, which is like 1,200 kilometers away. But we do have, even when I go to the coast, we do have mangrove, but it's a different type. It's not this type. So yes, everything is interesting. It's quite new. But most important, I like the way there's a particular purpose of preserving nature and multiplying nature. Very interesting plan by the Chinese government.
We hope to make a program about the wildlife of Guangdong, but what I'm interested in is not just the wildlife, but also its interaction with people and the people of Guangdong. I mean, it's a huge population in this province, and so where wildlife and humanity rub up against each other and how you coexist harmoniously. And I think the culture and the traditions of how you live alongside that wildlife is really interesting. I mean, that's what I hope to make. I think the role that documentaries can make in environmental protection and any cross-cultural understanding is just educating people on both sides and entertaining them, hopefully, about each other's cultures and approaches to the conservation of wildlife. So as a documentary maker, what I'm interested in is how you present different cultures and different traditions and different wildlife to, say, you know, Europe or Europe to China. I think that's the only way we begin to understand each other.
We are already planning to do a comparison documentary, something that compares what we find here and what we find in Africa, more like a relationship, because we want a local person to understand the similarities and differences. But it helps when you say this mangrove tree is from China, but this is the one from East Africa. This snail is from China. You know snails. This snail is from China, this one is from East Africa. So because most of the things you have, we have, but maybe different types or different generations. But most important, what we find here is the deliberate effort to preserve nature and promote it. So that is a big lesson for us. And yes, we're going to do a documentary comparing the two efforts.